I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact focused on personal growth, my Knowledge Workbook series and Creative Healing course can help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about no contact works. Guys, there is a reason that we have been talking about no contact after a breakup for about a decade on this channel now, and that is because no contact really does work. I know that you doubt it, I know that you're scared, but I can tell you that it is the most effective thing that you can do when somebody ends a relationship. There are lots of different people out there that will say to do strategies like handwritten letters, clean slate messages, good reminder texts, grand gestures, all those type of things. But all of those are making bids to connect with your ex. Now, you have to understand at the time of the breakup, they are looking for space. They are looking to shut down, think about things, decide if this is what they really want to do. Now, you get very anxious, and so you want to close that space and connect with them. But what happens is that just overwhelms them even more, and that does the opposite effect of what you're trying to do. However, if you think about it, when you're taking space, it allows them to miss you. It allows them to experience those feelings of loss like you are feeling in that time of the breakup. So trust me when I tell you, no contact works. However, no contact is not going to fix the relationship. No contact is not going to fix why you broke up, how you, or what was leading to the breakup. You've got to look at those things. Margaret, myself, Coach Victoria have spent a lot of time trying to explain to you why relationships don't work. If you think that going no contact is going to be the thing that saves your relationship, you're in for a rude awakening. Just recently, I put out some videos of all different people that got their ex back, but lost them again because they did not stay focused on the work. I'm telling you guys, put yourself on probation for 9 months after the breakup. If you do that, you are going to be far more likely to have a great relationship with your partner, a strong connection, and it is going to be a lot more likely to last and stand the test of time. So please, do the course every day. Do the workbooks every day, just 30 minutes. I promise you at the end of a week, at the end of a month, you're going to feel so much more confident. You're going to understand relationships so much better, your partner so much better, attraction so much better. You're going to have a lot more emotional self-control. No contact is only the start of that. For those of you that get excited about those no contact videos, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on if they're going to come back, not preparing yourself for them coming back. You've got to prepare yourself. Everybody's in a unique situation. Everybody's situation is so different for so many different reasons. And that is why, you got to be careful when people say comments that, are 2 or 3 sentences about how no contact doesn't work or whatever negative thing they're saying. There's a lot of negativity out there. And as we've explained, negativity is not going to help you grow. It's not going to help you change. It's not going to bring positivity to your life, okay? It may keep you trapped in some little bubble where you don't think that something's going to happen. You're not disappointed, okay? So if it doesn't happen, you were right and you were disappointed. But what if you were wrong and then your ex comes back? Wouldn't that be a bigger disappointment that you aren't prepared for them coming back? And I see that more often than not. So yes, no contact works, but you have to go beyond no contact. If you look at my channel, there's so many videos where I'm trying to teach you the skills to be a better partner, to learn more confidence, to heal your attachment issues. And those really don't get watched by as many people because you're caught up in if your ex is coming back and not how to blow them away when they do. But that's what we're trying to help you do, because those are the people that truly change their life, right? And that's why people will watch our channel for years, because we're all about bettering yourself, bettering your life. So today I've got a success story and a breakup story from the same person. How is that possible? Well, like I just put out in some recent videos, I have had a lot of clients. In fact, I had one today that broke up with their partner, didn't do their work. Many of them got their ex back, and then they lost them again. I've been seeing that a lot lately. So I'm like Nostradamus with some of these predictions, guys, because I know what happens. I see what people do day in and day out. Now, of course, it's not always going to go that way, but there are a lot of similarities in stories that I see. So this guy is going to tell us about a previous situation where he said no contact work, but now he's in another breakup. So I wanted to share this one. He said, "I can't thank you enough, Craig. Though I'm in a difficult spot right now, my previous breakup was a success story that I'd like to share for your other viewers. Even though I faltered during no contact and broke it several times, your videos and your advice eventually paid off. After doing the work and become stricter about no contact, she came back in the span of a few months, asked if we could repair things, and I turned her down, aware of my worth and what things I really wanted in a future relationship. This was after she broke up, having lost feelings, and after going on several dates and completely upgrading her social media presence. I thought it was hopeless." Another person. "I thought it was hopeless. I never thought she'd come back asking to fix things, and least of all, I never thought I'd reach the point where I didn't want her after wanting her so badly for so long. Though it was a painful, long process that almost seemed so paradoxical at times, I know it works." Okay, so he shared that after the email coaching, but I wanted to read it first before I got into his new breakup situation. He said, "I've watched you since my first breakup in 2022, and I wouldn't be exaggerating to say that you, Coach Margaret, and Coach Victoria have saved me during some of the hardest moments of my life, and I just wanted to thank you for having helped me so much." And we love hearing from you guys. You don't have to get your ex back to share a success story. When you become more confident, improve your mental health, change your life, those are all different kinds of success stories, okay? We see success as far more than just trying to get an ex back. Yes, we know you want that, and we're going to try and help you do that, but many of you will find far more success with someone else or in the future. Unfortunately, I'm here again, this time with a longer relationship with someone I loved much more. Okay, this is why I say you got to do the work, guys. Okay, don't let your ex's current level of interest dictate your motivation level. If you do that, you might blow it with your ex or with somebody that you love even more, like this guy here. We're both in our early 20s, and we met in the winter of 2023. We started off as friends and then began talking in the spring, before I broke things off in July due to unresolved baggage because she was clingy. Okay, so he had done some work, probably. He knew of our channel and about attachment styles, so he probably thought, oh, she's unhealthy, she's coming on too strong here, and it turned him off. I encouraged her to take time to create her own value, like you had taught me, and suggested no contact. We started talking again in the fall as I noticed real changes, and we became official in early 2024, only after I confirmed real change. We were great. We cared for each other physically and emotionally and communicated everything. We saw each other often, spending quality time doing exciting activities and romantic dates. We had made monthly love letters and occasionally got gifts for each other. She didn't have many friends and often went to me for everything. We had a few problems, but none were even major enough to consider splitting up. For me, I'd react too emotionally sometimes. For her, she had trouble conversationally reciprocating and understanding social cues, making me feel unheard sometimes. Okay, so this is interesting because it started off sounding like she was anxious, right? And that's why he broke up with her. But now, it's seeming like maybe she's avoidant, right? Interesting, let's see. But we always resolve things and move forward. In early 2025, she started a new job, and I started studying for a school entrance exam. Things were still good, but we were adjusting. I had slight anxiety about her meeting new people, but her eyes never wandered, and she always bragged about me to all her coworkers and friends. In the spring, things got rougher. The exam approached along with school applications, and I was incredibly stressed, as my career, future, and our future heavily depended on where I got accepted. She was stressed, managing a new project and distanced herself from everyone, including me, to adjust. Anxious, I confronted her on a night out after she said something out of character. I lost my composure and got emotional. Okay. Sometimes I like to see those little details. What does that mean? You got emotional, you lost your composure. Did you curse at her? Did you yell at her? I like those little details sometimes, but sometimes you guys don't tell me that. You focus on unimportant things, a lot of details that are unimportant, but then if there's a problem or an argument or a fight, don't leave it vague. Like Victoria and I were filming a video the other day where the guy said he was silly. Well, what does silly mean? Silly? Your girlfriend didn't like that you were being silly? What? That was like the major issue from the whole story, and yet all we knew was that it was silly. There were tons of other details, but the breakup reason was just quote-unquote the word silly, or that he was acting silly. So guys, remember when you're doing an email coaching, please focus on the things that are really important for me to know, and what happens, like certain things are important. Since that night, I've been doing the work, but it was too little, too late. In summer, we still spent time together, but something felt off. Thrice, she asked about our futures and told me she felt conflicted. Each conversation made me more anxious. Okay, this is what happens, right? We spiral, Go watch my video, Focus on What You Want, right? Because if you're anxious and you focus on what you're afraid of, we almost unconsciously create that mess and make it worse. However, she noticed my compassionate and cool responses and praised me for the changes. See, okay, so he's like, uh-oh, I better straighten out. I know what's going to happen here. Considering she noticed the changes that we had an upcoming trip together, I thought it wouldn't happen, but she ended things last week. As the future never bothered her before, I knew it was likely from my behaviors. She said my emotion and anxiety often affected the way I treated her. And I have been saying this for a long time, guys. Go back, search a channel, watch my video, The Real Reason Relationships Fail. Okay? Do yourself a favor. Instead of watching another no contact video, go back and look at how thoroughly I break down why relationships fail in that video. It's going to be a real wake-up call for a lot of you guys. But better me do it in a video than a partner do it and breaks your heart. Causing me to say harsh things without calmly approaching first, and that it wasn't until recently that she noticed how many times it happened before. Go watch that video, The Real Reason Relationships Fail. You better write it down, okay? Because it's going to explain so much of what happens in relationships that it falls apart. She was worried about how me going to school might make me get worse, and she didn't want to hold my hand all the time. Okay, it sounds like an avoidant thing to say. Another clue to me that she's probably avoidant. I agreed. She was extremely reluctant realizing and listing all the things she'll miss, repeatedly questioning if this was a mistake and saying not to discount the impossibility of trying again, saying this is how she felt at the moment. And you've probably heard me say that before. People often talk in how they're feeling in the moment. She asked if we could still talk and if we could restart as friends. Ugh. Over time, to which I refused. Good. I respected her decision and simply said jokingly, if you change your mind, you know where I live, referencing a joke I made earlier about how easy it was to run into each other. Teared up, she smiled, don't tempt me. I've had nastier breakups, but this is by far the most hurt I've been, as we planned our future for marriage and family. I immediately took steps, started no contact, emailing you, and finding a therapist. Well, and get back on those workbooks. I know that you had mentioned that you were doing the workbooks as well, so get back on them because clearly your anxious behaviors were coming out, you were losing emotional self-control, and that can kill a connection. It was clean, and the only thing I'm partially upset about is that she left while she noticed the changes. Okay, I know that's what he's scared of. I don't worry about her rebounding as she comes from a healthy family and relationship background. And also things do seem repairable. In a few months, we will be meeting again at a friend's trip that we planned a long time ago. However, I would like your professional assessment of the situation. What do you think? Well, I think that this is the anxious avoidant trap. I think that you were losing emotional self-control. She was seeing your behaviors getting worse and worse, or at least noticing them more and more. She knew that you were going to go off to school, and that would put a lot of pressure on you, and so she was probably thinking, this is going to get worse. And quite honestly, she's right. If she hadn't called you out, it would have gotten worse, right? You started to change it towards the end, but a lot of times we don't really want to change until we have a breakup. So I think she could sense that this was going to get worse, and she didn't like it. She started losing attraction for you, and even though she really cares about you, she's also very young. You guys are in your early 20s, so she's probably thinking, I don't think this is going to work. He's going to have to go long distance. He's going to be even more stressed out. You know, I don't like the way he's treating me already. I think I need to end this before it gets worse. So I think she's going to have a lot of doubts. If you stay focused on the personal growth and you really get to a great place, you're going to be a lot more likely to turn this around. If she sees the changes on her own, and believe me, she is not going to just believe your words. She's going to be looking closely at your actions. If your actions are different, if you're treating her better, if she sees that you're not taking out your stress on her, she's going to be a lot more likely to turn this around. Now, I would have liked it if you guys were a little bit older. That way, she had more experience with life to see that sometimes stress affects people. You know, you can't expect somebody to be perfect all the time. And, you know, having lived life a little bit more to realize all the positive qualities and great qualities that you do have. You know, you obviously are committed to personal growth and you do care about her a great deal. And I'm sure she's going to think about that and consider those things. I know that you are trying to focus on school and you'll be successful with school. So that's going to be attractive to her too. So there's some attractive qualities that she's certainly going to be thinking about, but this woman is going to make sure that you have changed. And if she feels like you haven't, meaning if you don't do the work, I think she'll check back in and check back out. If you do the work and you're patient and you're understanding, I think you have a much better chance of turning this around. All right, so hopefully this one's been helpful to you. Guys, think long and hard about no contact and what I'm telling you in regards to doing the work in no contact. Do the work in no contact. Do my creative healing course 30 minutes a day, or the workbooks 30 minutes a day, and you'll see how much different you feel. Just look at the comments of the people on the channel that are doing the work, and you'll see how much better they feel, okay? So hopefully this one's been helpful to you. Of course, if you want to get my help personally, you could do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. And of course, that's where you can get my creative healing course and my workbooks only on the website. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.